The last question for this week's recitation is about the car dealer. So the following table indicates the price various buyers are willing to pay for the Mini Cooper car. So we can find the buyer A's maximum price is $60,000, buyer B is $50,000, buyer C $40,000. So the buyer F, who's the person who wants to pay the lowest price, which have maximized price is to $10,000. So and we also have additional information. The cost of producing the car includes $50,000 of fixed cost and the marginal cost of $20,000. So now we know the marginal cost. In this scenario, it's fixed. It's $20,000. So the first question: what is profit maximizing rate of output and price for the monopolist? So before we answer this question, let's consider about the market demand curve. So in order to consider the market demand curve, first you need to know what is the vertical axis and what is the horizontal axis. So the vertical axis is price and the horizontal axis is quantity. So let's look at first. When the price equal to $60,000, and we found only one buyer can afford it, so that is buyer A. So which means when the market price is $60,000, the quantity demanded on the market is one, just buyer A. However, if the market price is $50,000, and we can find that both buyer A and B can afford it, so the market demand is 2. So we can have two consumer able to pay it. So when the market price is $40,000, and we can find A, B, C, all of them can afford it. So the market demand is 3. And when the market price is $30,000, we can find A, B, C, D, all 4 consumers can afford it. So we have 4 as our demand. So if the price is $20,000 and we can have both A, B, C, D, E, 5 consumers can afford it. So if the market price is $10,000, we can find all the consumer listed on the table are afford it. So all 6 consumers can afford it. So link this dot together, and we will get our market demand curve. After we got our market demand curve, and we can keep getting our marginal revenue curve on this diagram. So in order to get the marginal revenue, our first step need to know what is the total revenue in different scenarios. So let's create a table. So when the price equal to $60,000, and we only have 1 people want to buy it, so we have the revenue equal to 60,000 times 1, and we got 60,000. If the price is $50,000, and we found we have 2 people want to buy it, 2 times 50 is $100,000. And we keep going. $40,000. And we have 3 people want to buy it. That is 120,000. And now we have $3,000. We have 4 people want to buy it, and we have $120,000. And if the price is $20,000, and we have total 5 people want to buy it, so that is $100,000. And when we have the price equal to $10,000, well, 6 people want to buy it, and it's $60,000. Now we can calculate the marginal revenue. So at the beginning, the marginal revenue, we keep it at $60,000. And when we move to the when the price decreased to $50,000 from 60,000 to 50,000, and we can find the marginal revenue is equal to $40,000. And when the price decreased from 50,000 to 40,000, then the demand increased from 100,000 to 120,000. So that is 20,000 as marginal revenue, and it's zero when we have zero marginal revenue equal to zero when we decrease price from 40,000 to 30,000, and negative 20,000 here, negative 40,000. So now let's look at the first question. What is the profit maximizing rate of output and the price for monopoly? We know the profit maximization rule is marginal cost equal to marginal revenue, and we know the marginal cost equal to $20,000. And now the next question, at what point the marginal revenue also equal to $20,000? Based on our calculation, when the price equal to $40,000, we have marginal revenue equal to $20,000 as well. So the profit maximization rate of output and price are the price equal to $40,000. Corresponding to $40,000, look at the demand curve. When we have $40,000, and we will find we total have 3 consumers needed. So the output is 3 and the price is $40,000. And the question number B, how much profit does the monopolistic make? So the profit equal to the price times the quantity minus the total cost. So we will have $40,000 times 3 minus. So now you want to ask me, what will be our total cost? So total cost actually is equal to the fixed cost, $50,000, plus the variable cost, or how much cost we will add it. So since each time we only add one more product, and we have total 3 product, so plus 3 times $20,000, and we will get our total cost. $60,000 is our total variable cost. And then use a calculator and you will get $10,000 as the profit. So for this question, it will be hard for you to consider how can you calculate total cost. But you need to know the total cost equal to the fixed cost plus the total variable cost. Since the marginal cost is constant, so the marginal cost equal to the average variable cost. So you use 3, we have 3 products, 3 Mini Coopers, so times the variable cost, average variable cost $20,000, you got $60,000 as the total variable cost. So the last question is asked, how much total profit will he make if he applied the price discrimination? So first question you need to know is, in order to apply the price discrimination, the firm need to have the market power. So the monopoly have the absolute 100% market power, so they can apply the price discrimination, which means they will charge consumer differently based on their willingness to pay. So for instance, if the buyer A want to pay $60,000, which is $40,000 higher than the marginal cost, and then the monopoly will charge the buyer A $60,000. For the buyer B, the monopoly will charge him $50,000. And the question is, will he sell the car to the buyer F? The answer should be no, because if he sells the car to the buyer F with at least the marginal cost to $20,000, the buyer F will not buy it. So this means the monopoly's market can only have 5 buyers if they try to have the price discrimination. It includes So it will include buyer A, B, C, and D and E, not F, because buyer F is willing to pay the much money that are lower than the marginal cost. So they have the 5 units of demand. So now we can start to do the calculation related to the profit. So since the buyer will charge the Mini Cooper dealer will charge the different buyer different price, and the marginal cost equal to marginal revenue, and he can first charge the first buyer $60,000, and the profit from first buyer it will be $60,000 minus $20,000. That is how much net revenue generated from the buyer A, plus charge the buyer B $50,000 minus the marginal cost $20,000, and plus the $40,000 for the third buyer C minus $20,000. You get the net revenue from the get the revenue from the buyer C. So for buyer D, he charged him $30,000 minus $20,000 plus the last buyer. So that is net revenue. But in order to calculate the profit, and you still need to minus the fixed cost, which is equal to $50,000. And what you will have is equal to $100,000 minus the fixed cost, the fixed cost $50,000. So the revenue will be equal to $50,000. So the point for this question is you should know at what point what can be called a price discrimination, and how the monopoly apply the price discrimination in their selling. So you need to know the price discrimination means the monopoly will charge each consumer based on their willingness to pay.